Leadership space have called on policymakers at the national and sub-national levels to restructure, review and re-examine the strategies that have failed to achieve the 35% affirmative action in the national gender policy. They also want the gender bill at the National Assembly passed in the new and subsequent political dispensations. The call became imperative following the continuous fall in the number of elective and appointed of women, despite sustained calls by groups for an upscale in female political participation. The report.
Women inclusion in politics and leadership is said to be limited by cultural and societal norms, discriminatory laws and policies, as well as limited representation in political parties. Beyond the above, gender bias and stereotypes, violence and intimidation, lack of role models and mentors are also said to be among factors working against an upscale of women in politics, be it appointive or elective. But experts say the population of women in the country should be leveraged.
Nigeria was still one of the lowest ranking countries in the world with women's participation in politics, and this has further, the numbers have further, declined, as evident in what is manifesting now in the National Assemblies. We have only 2 women senators elected, and we have 13 members of the House of Representatives. Well, at the state level, we have a few improvements in some states.
Use up to 49% of Nigeria's population. That is to say that we can leverage on the numerical strength of women, can begin to harmonize and leverage on their numerical strength to build up support for women in politics. Within ourselves, if we begin to come together, women organizations.
Reflecting on the earlier unsuccessful strategies deployed to promote inclusion of women in the electoral and leadership process, experts say coordinating mechanisms and methodologies are needed to be streamlined for a more harmonized approach.
Women should work across party lines, should cultivate that culture of working across party lines to push women agendas such as the Gender Equal Opportunities Bill, the GO Bill, which for the second time in December 2021 was pushed out of the National Assembly.
For me, the first priority should be the laws. There's a gender bill, or there's a gender policy, which talks about 35% affirmative action. What is the challenge with implementing or achieving that gender policy? If it needs to be strengthened, then we do that. There was also the gender bills that failed in the 9th Assembly. What differently should we do in order to represent that bill to make it pass? And then from there, we now, once we have that bill, then we can now begin to look at the sectors, the electoral management body, the political parties, individual actors that we can now approach with a set of policy, a set of law that needs to be implemented, and then we can engage them on what needs to be done.
It is believed that if women are given more places of relevance in decision-making, governance and accountability, the diverse needs of women's political leadership will be more amplified, thereby creating a balance among their counterparts already dominating the space. Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.